Hey, everybody. Welcome to Spearheaded with Tevin. I'm your host, Tevin. Welcome to the first official inaugural episode. We are so excited that you're joining us here. While you're here, hit the subscribe, follow, like button, whatever is closest to you. Hit it, please. I am obsessed with Britney Spears. I love her so much. I think so highly of her, and she is probably the greatest love of my life. And I figured, why not make a podcast entirely dedicated to the living legend herself? We've got Jamie Spears in the hopeful end of the conservatorship and the leaked VMA rehearsal footage. We're getting all up in it. Let's talk about it. Every episode, we try to do an iconic moment in history, in Britney history, because she's had so many of them. So here's this little fun fact for you. 20 years ago today, she did Oops, I Did It Again at the VMAs. It was such an iconic performance. We got so many things that day. We got a little live vocal. She was in the black sparkly suit. And before you knew it, that suit was off and she displayed that insane nude body outfit that she had on. And we would later see that a couple years later during Toxic in the music video and different variations of that. I think a lot of female artists have still tried to recreate that look, and they haven't done it as successfully. It was such an iconic performance. And we also heard the same live arrangement on the Dream Within a Dream tour, which arguably is one of my favorite tours. I have battled so many people in significance of tours and ranking them down. And I think that Dream Within a Dream is up there as like her top 3. Loved that performance. Today is a huge day in the Britney world. Today is September 7th, 2021, the day that Jamie Spears filed to not only terminate the conservatorship of the person in the estate, but to do so without having Britney undergo any type of psychological evaluation. Huge day in our fan base community and in the civil rights of Britney Spears, which I feel like have been violated for 13 years. Many fans, I don't think, myself included, did not see this coming. We thought this was going to be a long, drawn-out battle. And now that this day is here, I actually don't know what to think or feel. I think that a lot of us are kind of waiting to see what the game plan is from Jamie's side, because everything that he's done has been so manipulative. And we don't know if this is an act of good faith or if this is something where he is trying to weasel his way out of something. If you live on Twitter like me, you know that people talk and that there are fans and stands in high and low places. And one of the rumors going around right now is that Jamie actually is stepping down and terminating the conservatorship because he wants to miss a deposition in which they would question him about where Britney's alleged missing funds have gone, as well as any questions regarding the conservatorship. We've known for a very long time that things aren't right, and we've known for a very long time that things have been really, really sketchy in this community. When Britney gave the testimony earlier this summer, we were all kind of given the first glimpse into her life and what it was really like. And for her to give such a compelling testimony in literally like 25 minutes says a lot. And, you know, she was talking very fast. She was rambling and she was going on. And a lot of people came out and said, oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking, but she also kind of sounds unstable. But my response to that is like, you try to explain 2 years of trauma in 25 minutes and think about how you would sound in that. And really, that's what it was. It was 2 years of her talking about what had happened, not even the full 13 years of the conservatorship, really just since 2019. So there's so much that we don't know. There's so much that is going to come out. And I truly feel like it's not going to be great. We're going to actually be really horrified of what's going to come out and what she has to say. But at the end of the day, I believe her. I believe everything that she's saying. And it's our job as people, not just her fans, but as people, to believe her and support her and uplift her. And whatever the next chapter is in her life, like, we have to support her. If she never wants to make music again, we have to support that. If she wants to make music again, we support that. That's our job as her fans. That's our job as people. And she's been through enough. So coming off of Jamie stepping down, Britney's new lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, who I think is a shark. I think he was going to get her out of this conservatorship, regardless of if Jamie stepped down or not. He released a statement today, and I want to read it to you guys just because I feel like it's going to provide further context. He said, "This filing represents a massive legal victory for Britney Spears, as well as a vindication. Having exposed his misconduct and improper plan to hold his daughter hostage by trying to extract a multi-million-dollar settlement, Mr. Spears has now effectively surrendered. There is no settlement. To the extent Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting for a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath, he is incorrect, and our investigation into financial mismanagement and other issues will continue." Rosengart concluded by saying, "But as we assess his filing, which was inappropriately sent to the media before it was served on counsel, we will also continue to explore all options." So we have the conservatorship hearing coming up on September 29th, which is in 3 short weeks. And Judge Brenda Penny is expected to rule on this petition. And the way that this could go is that Judge Penny could say, okay, I agree with Mr. Spears and we will terminate the conservatorship entirely. Or what could happen is she could say, no, I truly believe that, Britney needs to be under this conservatorship. We will just appoint a new person to oversee her estate and her person. For this to happen, I think would probably be catastrophic. But Brittany's got a great lawyer. And I truly feel like she is going to come out of this on the other side and things are going to be good. So if you've been tuning into Brittany's Instagram, you've noticed that there's been a significant change in tone. I am a social media manager by profession. I live, breathe, eat, drink, sleep social media. And I'm really good with understanding how people try to match tone of voice. I've done it for years. When Britney's social media was being handled by other people, I could always tell because the tone of voice changes, the emojis are slightly not correct, and there might be a lot of them or there might be not enough. So when Britney's new lawyer was appointed, there was an instant shift in her social media, and it feels a little bit more like her. I'm inclined to think that it's her posting. I think that it's her posting. I think that she's back in control. But there's still a lot of people who are not sure what's going on, if it's her, if it's a third party, if she's submitting her captions, if they're being tweaked, if they're, messing with her tone of voice or editing her videos to make her look crazy. I definitely think at this point, it's her. And she had a great exchange today with Iggy Azalea. I don't know if you saw it, but let me read you the caption. It's very, very sweet. So she posted a picture from the 2015 Billboard Music Awards where she performed live with Iggy Azalea. I say live very willingly. They performed it like 4 times and they cut it all together. But it was live the night that it came out. So anyway, she tweeted stills from that. She said, "Me and Iggy on stage. It was so much fun working with a strong, badass woman like her. I haven't met her new baby, but if she's reading this, God bless you and thank you for all of your kind words. Psst. Although the name of the song is Pretty Girls, I think the concept is more like Revenge of the Nerds," which is so Britney. And Iggy wrote back a really nice, sweet caption, and it reads, "I absolutely adore you more than words, and I still have the Barbies you gave me. Loving you always, you brilliant, too genius for this world to understand, kind-hearted, gracious, and beautifully ethereal." How do you say that word? Ethereal? Ethereal?
I think so.
Ethereal. Being. We are definitely 2 big old goofballs in the best way possible, which is such a nice way to put an end to this feud, I guess we could call it, if it was even a feud. If you recall back in 2015, I feel like that was a feud that was really fueled by the press. I feel like it was a feud that was really non-existent, but I know for years, Iggy Azalea stans and Britney stans kind of had like a tiff with each other or a beef, and that was really like just hit and miss because there was really not anything there. So it's so nice to see that this is the conclusion to that feud and that they're actually really cool with each other. I think that everyone's cool with Britney. I think that's one of the greatest things about her is that no one in this industry really has beef with her. And if they ever had a bad experience with her, it wasn't because of her, it was because of the team that surrounded her. Which I'm so thankful and grateful that she's going to get a new team at the end of this. We finally got rid of Larry after 15 years, just because he's not the right person, I think, to manage Britney. And I know that he knows her, but really, he just got lucky with her. If you look at everyone else that he's managed, like, their careers haven't done that well. It's just my opinion. Don't tell her that I said that. Who do you think's going to be the next person to manage Britney in her career if she wants to continue it? Who do we think that person is? Do we think it's going to be Scooter Braun? I think that would be something. Today is September 8th. We were blessed with not one, not two, but 3 video leaks. Where do I even begin? So these were all VMA rehearsal videos. One was from 2007, one was from 2001, and one was from 2000. And if you're looking at the 2007 video clip, it's of Give Me More, which, if you don't know, it's the infamous performance in which Britney is like, from, I guess, a general public perspective, she looks out of it. From a fan perspective, she does not look as into it as she could have been. It was panned as a disaster. I remember watching it live because she opened the VMAs that year. And I remember being 12 years old being like, oh my God, what happened? Like, what's going on? What are we doing? Why is this happening? And who was letting her go on stage looking like this? And if you were around the time, like reading press and looking at magazines and stuff, Entertainment Weekly came out with a magazine cover. And in it, Britney is doing a dance move where she's like praying and looking up like this. And Entertainment Weekly used it as the cover, and it said, "Oh, the horror." And I remember seeing that, and I just, my stomach dropped. But after that performance aired, there was so much speculation on what went wrong, what the rehearsals were like. And it was alleged that like Britney was partying all week and not showing up for rehearsal. It was alleged that Chris Angel and her had worked out some kind of thing where he was going to be performing with her, and there was supposed to be some kind of like crazy magic trick that was going to happen. There was other stuff coming out that she was just like not showing up for any of the rehearsals. There was disputes between costuming and hair, and so she last minute changed her costume and went out. Last minute changed her hair and went out. There was rumors that she was fighting with her hair and makeup artists, and that there was a disagreement there. And if you look, like, you can see that the wig they had her in was kind of weird, and she had a lot of extensions, and you could see the tracks. It wasn't looking too great. So there was a lot of speculation around the 2007 VMAs performance about what happened, what went wrong. And one of the bigger things was like there was this performance of the dress rehearsal where she had the long hair and she was in this ponytail, and people were saying that she did great in that rehearsal. Well, that is the dress rehearsal video that leaked today. In that dress rehearsal video, if you watch it, a lot of the fans say that it looked better. A lot of the camera angles were a lot tighter. They were more flattering, and they didn't look necessarily like they were out to get Britney to make her look fat, I guess. If you look and watch the video from the live 2007 VMA performance, like the actual performance, a lot of people said that Britney looked fat. A lot of people said that she looked out of it. And that was like another instance of the media tearing her down. I will say that the blue contact lenses that she had in that performance were so iconic, and they look great in GIFs and they look great in photos. But she definitely felt different in that performance. But watching the rehearsal video, I'm going to be the minority in this one. I'm going to be the person that's just going to say it. I don't think it's better than the actual performance. I know a lot of fans on Twitter today were raving about how much better she looks and everything. I think it's because when you watch a Britney performance and then you watch the rehearsal, Britney's kind of known to do better in the rehearsal than she is on the performance. And that's later years. That's not like in her prime, but like when you're going back towards like the 2009 years, Britney performs better in the rehearsals than she does on stage. And so I don't think that's the case in this video. I think a lot of people are going to be like, no, it is. But I don't think it is. I think that she looks even more just relaxed. She's not doing the choreography. There are moments in that video where she's not lip syncing the words. And she's just like kind of marking the choreo. And I feel like that is really coming through in the rehearsal video. And so if you watch the performance that aired live on the VMAs, it's really Britney like, I think, more polished. I think it looks like she's giving more face. I think she's trying to hit the moves a little bit harder, even though, you know, it's not like 2001 Britney. In my overall opinion, I don't think the performance should have happened at all. I think that she was going through a really rough time. And I think that she probably should have just not done the VMAs at all that year. And it's also not a secret that the VMAs like had wronged Britney for several years. And that's why in 2008, when she was in her first like comeback, with Circus, that's when the VMAs came and gave her those 3 awards. I feel like that was almost like out of, I don't want to say pity, but essentially acknowledging that, yeah, she probably should have won in the earlier years where she was doing more groundbreaking videos. Because Piece of Me, like, if you look at it, not the best Britney video out there. Tons of jump cuts and edits, and her hair is different in like 2 different scenes. And yeah, just not the best Britney video. But I think that when she won in 2008, that was their way of apologizing and acknowledging that she should have won in the previous years. So watching that performance back for the 2007 VMAs, I definitely feel like she was phoning it in, and it was not the polished Britney that we saw in the other 2 rehearsal videos that were leaked. And before we get into those videos, I definitely want to say, like, where do we think these leaks are coming from? Like, I logged onto Twitter today, and it literally looked like WikiLeaks, but for Britney Spears videos. And so I've been calling them Britney leaks all day. Is it because the VMAs are coming out on Sunday? Like, what's going on with that? I have no idea. If you think you have like an idea or know where these are coming from, like, please feel free to like tweet it to me or message me or something like that. At Tevin JC, that's my Twitter handle. It's the same for Instagram. I figured I'd make it easy for everybody to find me. So yeah, you're welcome. So moving on to 2001. So that is the year that she does I'm a Slave for You. She debuts it at the VMAs that year. Before this performance, no one had seen any choreography from it. No one had any clue what was going on with this performance. And I touched on it a little earlier, and I had said what an iconic performance it was. But this was truly a different moment for Britney. I think that this was a segue into like the schoolgirl, not that innocent, naughty but really nice image that she had created around herself. And this was moving into a more adult direction. The sound was very different. The looks were very different. And this was such a milestone. If you're a younger fan and you're listening to this, think like Dangerous Woman for Ariana Grande. It's like kind of the same type of transition. And so that rehearsal video leaked today. And in that video, I mean, she is on fire. She's doing the choreography. She's vamping around where the snake's supposed to be in there. She's hitting like every move. She's just like in it. And it's such a joy and a pleasure to watch because she kind of looks like an athlete. She looks like an Olympian when she's in it. She's in her element. She's doing what she loves. You can see the fire in her eyes. And it's one of those performances where you're like, this is like someone who really loves what they do. This is someone who is really trying to elevate what we see in a normal performance. And even years later, you see girls trying to like bring the snake out. You see people trying to like do their own version of Britney choreography, and it's never quite there, but they try. But in this video, she's not taking any prisoners. Like, she is absolutely in it to win it. And it's about a 20-minute video if you watch the leaked video, but it's just like, it is so good. Like, I I can't even put it into words like how great I think it is. It is just such a great video, and you have to watch it. And that brings me to like the 2000 Oops, I Did It Again performance at the VMAs. That year she did I Can't Get No Satisfaction, which is a cover by the Rolling Stones. Then she segues into Oops. And that video is about an hour long. It's great though, because you get to hear her like talking. And at one point she's like comparing hands and she's like, oh my God, I need a manicure, y'all. And that's my best like Britney impression. You're going to hear that so much throughout this podcast. She's just goofing off, but she's like, when she's in the performance and when she's really like doing her thing, you can't take your eyes off of her. And I was having a conversation earlier and I was like, one of the things that Britney has that other performers don't have is charisma. And like a lot of people in Britney's class, like, yeah, they have that. And it's something that can't be taught. There's a watchability about her. There's something where she could be on stage with like 6 people or 20 people, but it doesn't matter how many people are on that stage with her, you're watching her. And there was such a fluidity to her body and the way that she moved and the way that she would hit certain accents and beats and the way that she would perform that like you would just be so enamored with how she was expressing herself that like you didn't even think about like the lip syncing or any of those things. But I just remember being so mesmerized by that performance. And I was 5, I think, when that performance came out. I thought she was naked on stage when she ripped off the suit that she was wearing, and it was like the nude bodysuit under. I thought she was naked, and I was like, oh my God, she's naked on stage. But I remember not judging her. I was like 6, and I remember not judging her and thinking that was so cool. And she's singing live, and she's doing the thing. And I think what's so funny in the leaked rehearsal video is you could like hear her telling them like, put playback here. Like, bump the track up here. Like, I'm not going to do this part. I'm just not going to sing here. And I'm like, yes, that's my girl. Like, you better admit that you're not going to sing this part. I think that even when Britney, like in the moments where she's not even trying, those are her most iconic moments. Those are the times that you fall in love with her the most because like she just radiates this great energy about her, but she's also owning the fact that she's like, yeah, just throw the playback in. Like, I'm just not going to do it here. Got that? And we're like, yeah, Britney, we got it. So we just love her so much. But those were the 3 leaked videos that came out today. I was completely obsessed. I am still watching them as I go through this podcast, but like I'm still dissecting them. I will be for the rest of the night, probably for the rest of the week. There's so many gifts that are going to come out of it. And I don't know. I love watching a rehearsal video where you get to see all of the moving parts, how they work before like they put the 20 pounds of extensions on her and like cake the makeup on her. Like I just love to watch like the raw footage of her being in there and doing her thing and making the adjustments. Like there's nothing like watching an artist at work. And I love that. She will forever be the GOAT to me. So, and you can come at me and say it's, you know, whoever else. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that whole part because that'll get me in trouble. But you can counter and say it's so and so. But for me, it's Britney, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing this podcast. But those leaked videos today just reminded me so much of like why I love her and why we're doing this and why I'm so obsessed with her and why like I will literally like I would go to war for her. So yeah, I just okay. If you've made it this far, pat yourself on the back. Thank you so much for listening to the first inaugural episode of Spearhead with Tevin. I'm Tevin. Hit the subscribe, follow, like button, whatever is closest to you. Hit it. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TevinJC. I've had so much fun with you tonight. We have so much more left to discuss. I will see you on the next episode. Have a great night or day wherever you're listening from. We'll see you next time.